fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here on the Cayman Islands. Today we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the Caymans. And I want to start with this. Don't miss out on the ecotourism when you come here to the Caymans, because look, from the coral reefs, the stingrays, the starfish, the turtles, the snorkeling, the scuba, I mean, there's just so many things you can enjoy with nature when you're here in the Cayman Islands. I don't want you to miss out on that. So if you're looking for things to do, okay, one, you can go to Stingray City, where you actually take a boat out and you swim with stingrays. Yes, they come up and you can hold them. You can feed them, remember, keep your thumb down, all right? I mean, it's just such a cool thing. Or you can go to Starfish Point, and there's literally starfish all over the place. You can be like, oh my gosh, starfish, it's really kind of cool. You're like, my goodness, now I know I loved them so much when I was a little kid. It's really cool. Or maybe the tortugas, the turtles you can see when you're here. It's just so cool. You can go to the Cayman Turtle Center to check it out there, but honestly, when you're going around snorkeling, you might see them pop up occasionally as well. Maybe you want to go see the Parrot Sanctuary here on the East End, or maybe you want to go to Queen Elizabeth Botanic Park and you want to see the iguanas that are there. You have all kinds of great things. And wait, Mark, but what if it's a rainy day? Oh, I don't know, you can go to the Crystal Caves and go explore there. I mean, there's so many great outdoor activities to do when you're here. You're going to love it. So make sure you plan your tours and all your stuff accordingly so you can get as much out of the ecotourism here as you possibly can. And if you don't want to go out in the sun for the nature, you can go out at night, because a couple weeks every single month they have a bioluminescence bay where you can go in and it's like you're swimming in a snow globe. I mean, there's just so many great eco things to do when you're here. It is fantastic. That's why it's the first don't I have for you. Don't skip out on those things. Don't think it's just the beautiful beaches you're here and the great food, okay? Go and enjoy those things. Now, some other things I want to talk about. When you're looking to come here, probably the most famous beach is 7 Mile Beach. That's on the west side of the island, okay? And I gotta tell you this, don't think 7 Mile Beach is 7 miles of a continuous sand, because with erosion and hurricanes, some of the beaches disappeared, but there's still great beaches there. There's beaches all over the island, but yeah, 7 Mile Beach isn't necessarily 7 whole miles of beach. Now, ecological sites, getting back to nature, beaches, this sounds like typical Caribbean island, but I gotta tell you this, don't think that the Caymans are a typical Caribbean island. This definitely feels much more like people live here, I'm just hanging out in the suburbs, versus going to a tourist Caribbean island. Because you have literally 100,000 registered businesses here with 70,000 people. That's a whole other thing out there. But there's a lot of work going on. There's a lot of people working. There's a lot of money that's here. And so it definitely has a different vibe. Safety-wise, food-wise, people-wise. I mean, it's just a very different vibe when you're here. And don't get me wrong, I love going to the Caribbean. I love all the islands around. It's great, but the Cayman Islands definitely has a different vibe. And part of that is because of the British heritage that's here. And so don't forget some of the Britishisms that are here, like, yes, English language, of course, miles per hour, of course, but then they have the Canadian dollar, not the Canadian pound. But yeah, you'll notice you might recognize the person that's on the money. Yeah, these kind of things that are there, but also the friendly nature, that outgoingness. I mean, honestly, don't think the Canadians aren't the nicest people in the Caribbean. The Caribbean's great people, but here, everybody's been super friendly. Everybody, I mean, we're talking whether you've gone to stores, we've gone to restaurants, we've been hanging out, meeting people on the beaches or inland at the parks. I mean, the people here are super nice. And that's one of those things I want you to realize is don't pass up a chance to talk to the locals, because they're really chill and they live on local time, i.e. island time. So I gotta tell you this, though it has some of that British vibe in terms of driving on the left side of the road and the English language of miles per hour, they definitely have some of the island stuff. And I gotta tell you, I mean, don't freak out with island time, because things do take a bit longer to get served, to get seated, to get checked in, to get your taxi, to get things and get to places. It's more calm down kind of stuff, okay? So don't forget island time when you are here, which is funny because you really have to have patience when it comes to island time. And a lot of times when tourists lose their patience, they get rude. And I gotta tell you this, don't be rude when you're here. Because remember, the British, they like, you know, manners. They mind their P's and Q's. There's always a nice lion culture kind of stuff. And sometimes tourists get frustrated with that. And just remember your manners when you are here, because the people are super friendly and they are super helpful. And if you need anything, just ask. I mean, even the people on the streets have been super helpful, giving us directions, telling us where to go, telling us the best place to eat. Thank you very much. But just remember, manners maketh man when you are here. And I know I talked about the food, have the locals tell you what to eat, but I gotta tell you, don't miss out on the Canadian foods that are here. I mean, you have so many great things. Conch fritters made with a conch, you know those cool conch shells, like the little sluggy thing that's in there. They chop it up, fry it up with something like dough and stuff. You eat it, it's so good. Seafood, oh my gosh, if you get the spiny lobster when it's in season here, it's amazing. Anything with a rundown sauce, like any fish, okay, any seafood, but with rundown sauce, oh my God, it's like coconut milk. It's just like all these things together is fantastic. Or honestly, anything that has a sauce that has Scotch bonnet peppers in it, so good. I mean, oh my God, just a hot sauce, the Scotch bonnet hot sauce you can have here, that's fantastic. I mean, there's so many really good things. Any of the seafood, the conch, I mean, oh, British Empire, right? A little influence here. The sticky toffee pudding is amazing, and it's all over the island. You really can't go wrong. But this is the Caribbean, so getting the jerk chicken or jerk pork, oh, really, you're gonna eat so well when you're here, whether it's seafood, the jerks, all kinds of stuff's really good. Also, I wanna tell you, don't be surprised if the drinks are either really, really strong or you didn't realize they were too strong until it's too late, because they love their rum punches here. And it does pack quite a punch, so do be aware of that, because you should never drink and drive, but here they're very strict with the drink driving stuff, okay? So be careful, get a taxi, use the public transportation, you'll be okay. But yeah, the food here is amazing. And don't think it's just, British food and Canadian food. They got all kinds of international stuff here. So if you're here for a while, you really can explore a lot of different cuisines, because so many people from around the world have moved here, they brought their food too. But honestly, you can't go wrong with oxtail, curry, goat, snapper, anything with conch, lobster. I mean, it's just, the food's fantastic when you're here, and you're gonna love that. Now, when you come to the Caymans, I gotta tell you, don't think you have to pack a lot. You don't have to bring much when you come here, because this really is great weather all year round. We're talking, shorts, swim trunks, sundress, sunglasses, pretty basic stuff, because you don't really have to go like super high-end fancy when you're here. Now, there are nice restaurants you can go to, so maybe have like a collared shirt and a sundress, but that's about as fancy as you gotta be, unless you're here for one of those board meetings. And believe me, you'll see a lot of board meeting people when you're here, because yeah, don't forget, this is a tax haven when you come here. But in general, when you think about packing to come here, don't forget to bring all your beach stuff with you, because buying it here, it's an island. I gotta tell you, don't think the Cayman is gonna be cheap. This is one of the more expensive islands in the Caribbean. I mean, it's not stupid expensive, but it is one of those things you need to be aware of. This is not really a budget vacation destination. So think about your sunblock, your bug spray. If you got goggles and snorkels, bring them with you. Instead of buying them on the island, have it with you. You can do that. Simple things like that, because you don't have to pack a lot. And honestly, when you're coming here, you're gonna do carry-on and have everything you need. So don't worry about that, okay? Don't overpack when you come here. You don't need to. Just remember to bring the right stuff. Also, don't forget, reef-safe sunblock when you come, because all these reefs around here really help protect the island. And that kind of gives me another thing that's important. Don't mess with the mangroves. You'll see the mangrove trees growing around. It's those ones that looks like there's arms over each other, like growing into the water. Those are actually protected. Like, there's a huge fine. They're technically owned by the King of England, okay? But the thing is, that helps it the islands not get as messed up during hurricanes, because the mangroves really lock in the soil. So that really helps. So don't cut out the mangroves, okay? Just FYI, I would appreciate it. But that's why the island doesn't get really hurt a lot during hurricanes, because the mangroves really help keep it together. Now, when you fly into the Cayman Islands, one thing I gotta tell you is, don't think it's the crazy airport situation like you have in Jamaica, or if you're looking at Turks and Caicos, where the lines get kind of long and crazy and stuff. Look, when you come to the Cayman Islands, it is much more of a relaxed airport, and there's lots of space. What's cool is if you're flying in, if you got your passport, you just go to a little electronic kiosk that does all the stuff for you. You go in, check in, get your stamp, on your way. Honestly, of all the places we've flown into in the Caribbean, the easiest, simplest airport to deal with, so that was very helpful. Oh, and for you frequent travelers, don't expect to get free upgrades here, because so many businesses are based here. Like, there's like 100,000 registered businesses and only like 70,000 residents, that a lot of people come for business trips here, and those are taken up by the CEO and the CFO and the CMO instead of just other travelers, okay? So be aware of that. You have to pay for those upgrades when you fly here. And when you do fly, skip out on September and October. Those are the most rainiest months. Now, when you're going to the beaches here, and there's plenty of public beaches, so don't think you have to pay to go to the beach when you're here, okay? For as priced it is, those beaches, public beaches, free. You can go park for free, walk around, enjoy the beaches. It's really great. There's ways to do free things when you're here, but I want to tell you is, if you're at the beach, don't be drinking alcohol at the public beaches. That's not allowed. And don't take the shells or the starfish with you as, reminders or souvenirs of your time here in the Caymans, because they're protected, so you can't take that. That coral stays here, people. Those starfish at Starfish, Point, they stay here, and obviously you're not taking a stingray from Stingray City, but something to kind of think about when you are here, when you're looking for souvenirs. Now, if you're buying souvenirs, you're going out to eat, you got to know about the money when you're here, and I want to tell you, don't think the Caymanian dollar is cheaper than the US dollar. It's actually stronger, okay? So think of it this way. Basically, like one Caymanian dollar is like $1.20 US. So when you see the price, you think, oh, these prices aren't too bad. Now, add on like 20% or 18, 15% onto it. That's what the dollar amount is, because some tourists think, oh, cool, those prices are great. No. Canadian dollar, stronger than the US dollar in terms of the exchange rate. But don't worry, you can pay with US dollars all over the place. And don't worry, you can pay with credit card all over the island. I mean, this is a financial hub for various businesses. So electronic payments, very easy to do when you are here. But Canadian dollars, you can do that. One thing I tell you is don't forget to have a little cash, so when you're tipping people, you can do that. And I guess I should talk about tipping. Don't forget to tip when you're here. However, I'll tell you this, don't forget to look at the gratuity when you go to the restaurant first, because 15%, 18% might already be put on your bill. So make sure you check. If it's not, yes, then you tip 15% or 20%, whatever, but it's already there, you're fine. And that's one of the things you got to be careful, because it'll already be on there, and then when you pay with the credit card, there'll be a little line for tips that will make you pay even more. So just have a heads up for that one. It's not a scam, it's just something to be aware of when you're here. But also get some local currency so you can tip, whether you're tipping your cleaning staff for your room or the bellhop, you can do that. You can tip in US dollars as well, it's okay. But if you want the Canadian dollars, it's fun, you can pay that way. And remember, they have a $25 note, not a $20 note, so that was kind of cool. It's like, oh hey, that's different. And when you're looking to spend your money when you're here, don't expect much to be open on Sundays. Shops, some of the restaurants, things going on. Sunday's more the chill day when you are here, so do be aware of that. And also don't think the shops stay open late, the restaurants stay open really, really late when you're here. So make sure you're shopping earlier, make sure if you're gonna do things, schedule for Monday through Saturday, because Sunday is kind of a chillax day when you are here in the Caymans.
So when you're in the Caymans, don't forget that you drive on the left. However, when you rent your vehicle, your steering wheel may be on the left, which if you're driving on the left, it ought to be on the right. So this is going to test my driving ability, and I'm comfortable driving in the left lane, but this is going to be a little weird. Anyway, another don't for the Caymans is don't expect there to be superfluous amounts of public transportation. You can get taxis and things like that, but there's not going to be a ton of that kind of stuff available throughout the islands. So renting a car is actually not a bad deal. It's less than it is in the States, but not as expensive as some other places I've been in the Caribbean. So we'll see how it goes.
So another safety note I have for you. You see my blue iguana friend here, Opie? I'm going to tell you this. Don't feed the iguanas, because they can bite and it will hurt. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? So be careful. So if you're having picnics, you're coming out here to the Elizabeth II Botanic Garden to check out the iguanas, don't feed them. They can get a little bitey out there. I mean, look at him. Opie here, he's checking me out. He wants to eat me. So do be safe when you do that. Otherwise, they're cool to check out, but just be aware. Iguanas, they're not the most friendly animals out there. You see the iguanas, you don't eat them here, okay? You don't eat the iguanas. I know another place you do, but here, don't eat the iguanas, okay? So the Cayman Islands is fantastic for snorkeling, for scuba diving, it's great. And you're gonna go around, you're gonna see a lot of nature when you are here. But I wanna give you some of the notes when it comes to scuba diving and snorkeling and going around. If you're gonna go to Stingray City, which you should go to, yes, the stingrays will come swim up to you. Don't take them out of the water. You can pet them, but don't take them out of the water. Also, don't forget, if you're gonna feed them, don't have your thumb up. They'll think your thumb is part of the food and they'll chomp on it. Take my word for it. I still have my thumb though, so that's good. Also, if you're gonna go to Starfish Point, it's really cool to see all those starfish there, but don't take the starfish out of the water because that's not good for them, okay? But when you're going around, you'll see there's coral all over. All these reefs around the island makes for such great snorkeling, such great scuba diving. If you snorkel and you scuba, you know this one. Don't mess with the coral. Don't stand on the coral, don't kick the coral, don't pick the coral. Just let it be. You want to observe it, not get into it, because one, it can hurt you really bad, and also you're not supposed to do it either. And if you're going to come here and just take a little tour to go see like Stingray City or Starfish Beach, I want to tell you this. Don't don't forget an underwater camera or one of those bags that you can put your phone in so you can take pictures, so you can really get up and close and personal with them. So that's something I really want to tell you about. Also, one of the reasons that makes this such a great place for scuba diving is actually you have a big drop off. You go to the north wall, it literally is like it goes from like, oh, like I can see the bottom to 6,000 feet down. So that's why it's really cool that you can do some really interesting scuba diving, but also you can do fishing when you're here. And don't think it's just deep sea fishing. You actually can fish in like the cove, the bay there too. So there's some really cool things you can do when it comes to the water when you're here. Now I know I said the people are super friendly here, but I really want to stress this. Don't pass up a chance to say hi to the people when you're here, because you'll see that friendliness, how they'll share their experiences. It's just one of those things you're going to love when you're here, the people. And the thing is, you'll see that like when you're driving around, you don't have to worry about the crappy driving kind of stuff or the like road rage kind of thing, because the people are super friendly. Like they'll probably flash you in if you're trying to cross the street or whatever. So that's a really nice thing to remember. So you don't have to worry about that. And kind of going along with that friendliness and respectfulness you'll get when you're here is don't litter. Like you'll notice how clean it is here. Like it is probably the cleanest island you can find in the Caribbean. I mean, it's one of the cleanest places we've been traveling to. And they actually do have big fines and jail time if you are littering. So don't litter when you're here. There's plenty of trash cans and recycle bins for you to put your garbage away. Don't be like the people we've seen at the airport when they get out of their rental cars like whatever and throw it on the ground. No, don't do that, okay? Because you want to keep this island beautifully clean, because the locals do too. Oh, and if you want to know, don't think it's just the environmental stuff in the beaches. There's actually historical things too. You can go to Pedro St. James behind me. You can check this out. There's museums around the island you can see too. So there's a lot of stuff you can see and do when you're here, even on a rainy day. So you come to the Caymans, even though it's British history, they do use US plugs, okay? So you get the 2 flat plugs, or sometimes you have the 3, so do be aware of that. It is not the British style, it's not the European style. It's the American style of plug. If you come in, they're going to give you a little piece of paper that's going to be on the end of your customs form. You need to keep that, because when you get on your plane, they'll actually take it from you when you're walking out to the plane. So don't you lose that little piece of paper. Remember, if you're snorkeling or scuba diving, don't touch the coral. It's illegal. So when you're going around the Cayman Islands, you're going to notice lots and lots of chickens just wandering around. I got to tell you, don't worry about the chickens. They won't attack you, so be aware of that, and do leave them alone. Also, don't forget the iguanas. They can bite you, so do be aware of that too, but they will be wandering around when you are here. But it's kind of cool to take in the nature and seeing the stuff. But honestly, the most important animals when you're here are the tortugas, the Cayman turtles. You want to see those when you're here. Don't miss out on that. So don't forget, like I said, go to the Turtle Center, the Cayman Turtle Center up in West Point. You can go up there, or if you just want to go, like, if you're on the south side of the island, you go to Spots Beach, the public beach there. You can go out there. They have the seagrass there, and literally you're swimming with the turtles while they eat. It is so cool. So you can do that. So that's some kind of fun in terms of the wildlife you want to look at when you're here. Now, when you come to the Caymans, most of the time people either take the cruise ship, or they get off in Georgetown and stay around there, or they go up to Stingray City, and they're basically staying on the west side of the island in Grand Cayman. And I want to tell you this, don't just stay on the west side. If you're going to be staying here, come to the east end. I mean, it is literally empty over here. You can come here to the blowholes and enjoy this. I mean, it's just beautiful, but it's completely empty. And it really is a place where if you want to get away from tourists, this is where you come. And even when it's busy with tourists, the east end is very chill, okay? And when I say really chill, I mean, there's not a lot of accommodation. There's not a lot of place to eat. There's Tucas, which you can go to, which is like Australian Caribbean, which is kind of a famous place over on the east end. But the east end is totally chillax. And it's totally not super touristy. So if you want to get away from it all, do the drive, come over here. And I think if you're going to be coming to drive here, if you're going to be coming to stay in the Cayman Islands, don't think the public transportation is buses, even though it says buses. They're more vans or minivans that are going around, but they can get you around. And what's cool is when you're here in the Cayman Islands, you don't really have to worry about your safety, except for the sun, because this is a very safe island. Like, you're coming with your kids and stuff, you're going to be okay, right? I mean, obviously, don't forget your usual tourist sense of not leaving stuff to your car and silly things like that, or at the cruise port where a lot of people are coming in. But honestly, the Caymans, super safe place to visit. So if you're going to be cruising to the Cayman Islands, one thing I want to tell you is don't think it's one of those walk off the boat destinations. This is a tender harbor. So you're going to take a tender from your cruise ship to Georgetown or to the beaches or to wherever you're going to get off, because they don't have a place the cruise ships can actually dock, so it's going to be a tender, so be aware of that. If you're looking at coming here to the Cayman Islands, you might ask, when's the best time to come? Well, I want to tell you this. Don't schedule your trip between like June and November, or maybe May and October, because that's hurricane season. Now, you can still come, just make sure you buy travel insurance, so if you have to cancel last minute, you can, in case there is some hurricanes here. They don't get hit a lot, but it is one of those things you need to be kind of like thinking about when you're planning your trip, probably the best time to come is December through March. You've got great weather, especially way better than if you're like in Europe or in North America, like up in the US and stuff at that time. Really good times to come. November can be fun because in November they got Pirates Week, so you can do that. So there's a lot of different times you can come and enjoy, but I just want you to have a heads up during hurricane season because that gets people thinking about safety. And I know I'm going to talk about how safe it is here, but I think some little things you need to think about. Probably actually the biggest safety thing you need to be worried about is actually the sun. So don't forget your sun protection. When I say sun protection, I don't mean just sunblock. Like you got the sunblock, you're reapplying. You've got the full wide brim hat when you're going around. Wear the the rash guard kind of stuff when you go out because you know what, the sun can be very strong here. And if you're coming from a more northern in the northern hemisphere kind of place, that sun's a lot hotter and it beats down. And I'm telling you, we literally the first day walking around, we're just like, oh my god, we were seeing purple tourists. Okay, so you want to be careful in the sun when you're here. Also, I think it's important when you come to the Caymans, you come to the Caribbean, a lot of people think hydration. I'll stay hydrated, no problem, but don't forget, don't think alcohol hydrates you. Drink the water when you're here. Stay hydrated because, hey, you don't have to worry about the tap water when you're here. You can drink the tap water, okay? So be aware of that to keep yourself safe and hydrated so you can go around and enjoy this beautiful island. And I talked about the driving. Another thing I gotta tell you is that don't be surprised by all the roundabouts. Now remember, you're driving on the left and then you got roundabouts as well. And if you're not used to roundabouts, they can be a little confusing. So I do recommend having the GPS or the ways to do that. But one thing you have to worry about is don't worry about the locals driving crazy when you're here because they drive pretty slow. I mean, you never go above 50 miles an hour on the island. I mean, it's a small island. You can get anywhere when you're gonna be driving, but do be aware of that. And I guess another thing related about the driving and the safety thing is if you're driving, don't forget you got to stop for the crosswalk people. Do be aware of that because people are sometimes walking on the street and stuff. But what's cool if you're in Georgetown and 7 Mile Beach, there's all these crosswalks where it lights up right away and you as a driver need to stop for them. So be aware of that, okay? Don't just blow through the crosswalks. And when you're driving around, you'll notice, wait, why are the speeds so low? Well, you have to realize, don't forget, like I said, this is a British territory, which means miles per hour when you're driving around. So be aware of that. However, I will tell you, another rental car issue is realize when you get those rental cars, they might be in kilometers per hour and not show you miles per hour. So you might want to have like a little thing telling you what they are. Like, so you know what 50 is, 40 and 30, because that's kind of the typical speed limit when you are here. Because telling the cops, it doesn't say miles per hour on my car, isn't going to get you out of a ticket. Oh, and some people worry about languages. Don't worry about Cayman Islands. It's English here. English everywhere. That's the official language. That's what everybody speaks. All your menus are that. So if you want an island in the Caribbean where you can speak the language and not be worried about, Cayman Islands, it's English everywhere. Also, if you're going to be taking a cruise, don't forget you can rent your own car, you can arrange all those things on your own, get your own tour to do stuff around the island, or you can take the excursions. Just know you're in a kind of a bus going around just like all other cruises, so be aware of that. And if you're coming to the Cayman Islands, don't forget it's not just Grand Cayman. Like Grand Cayman, that's where you're probably going to fly into. Now that's where Georgetown is, 7 Mile Beach. Here, at the east end, we have this. You go to Rum Point, you have that. That's all Grand Cayman. There are 2 more islands. There's Little Cayman, which is good for diving and stuff. You have that, and then there's Cayman Brac, which is basically there's this big huge bluff and it's more like traditional working kind of stuff. It's not really a tourist island, so as a tourist you're not really going to go there. And if you want to go to those other islands, you do take a little puddle jumper from here in Grand Cayman to there to do that. So if you want to go more, you can do more. All right, so what are some other don'ts you have for tourists coming here to the Cayman Islands? Let us know in the comments below so tourists can have a great time when they're here, because honestly it's safe, the food is fantastic, the people are super nice. I mean, I understand why all these businesses came to do their business here, because it really is a fantastic place. All right, so I wish you all the best. Have a great time when you're here. Oh, also don't wear camouflage, because you're not supposed to wear camouflage here, because only military people do that. So if you're packing, just realize, don't wear that, don't bring that. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here on the Cayman Islands.